Good evening, everyone, and welcome to The Sports Doctor is In. My name is Earl Rush, and I'm here with my broadcasting partner, Larry Abels. How are you today, Larry?
I'm good, Earl, aka Sports Doctor. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, but I'm a big football fan, but I'm not too happy about the play that we're getting in the National Football League. Not just the past week, which was a great example of what I'm talking about, but all year long. The games have been lackadaisical, you know. But what can you do? It's just I don't know. I was big on Detroit one time. They didn't really even impress me anymore. So I don't know. I'm hard to impress anyway. Enough about me ranting and raving about nothing. Let's start the show. All
Yeah.
right.
All right.
We got to start off with the greatest baseball game I've ever seen last night with the Dodgers and
the Raptors, Blue
Toronto.
Jays.
Yeah. But before I go into that, 2 weeks ago, uh, two teams were playing. Who was playing? Toronto and someone else.
Seattle.
They were playing. They were up. Seattle was up 2-0, and I said it's over. And you kept telling me, uh, baseball's not like football and basketball, Earl. Uh, Being down 2-0 or up 2-0 is just not the same. And I'm like, Larry, what are you talking about? The series is over. And you came through with your predictions, and come to find out that Seattle was up 2-0, but they didn't advance to the division finals because they lost. So
You know,
I have to give you props on that one. I didn't see that at all.
it's a different type of game. A lot of times, basketball and football are based on a lot of emotion. Plus, you can give the ball to people that can score to you a disproportionate amount of time in both of those sports. Offensively, in baseball, everybody gets their turn. And the other part of it is if a pitcher's going hot, good pitching can, pretty much negate good hitting a lot of times. A good lineup, a hitting lineup. And that's all you need is a pitcher to. So it doesn't matter whether the crowd's screaming. It's not like in football where you can give the running back or the quarterback the ball every time. Everybody's got to take their swing at bat.
Right. Okay. Well, all right. Well, there you have it. What
Then
about the
you,
game last night?
oh my goodness, and you got two teams that can hit pretty well, but gosh, they went a lot of scoreless innings. Even though it was a lot of great plays, a lot of great defensive plays to prevent people from scoring, but they pretty much went two games. They played 2 games. They played 18 innings,
Yeah.
and a
Yeah.
lot of those innings nobody scored, especially from about the 8th inning on.
Yeah. It was a good game. It was very exciting. I felt good for Kershaw to come in and get out of that jam because he has history, a tendency and a history of choking in big games. Even though he's a Hall of Fame pitcher, it just comes time to the big games, he doesn't always execute. So I was glad for him to get out of that inning last night. But
He had a rough time the last time I saw him pitch in the playoffs, and I thought it showed an incredible amount of confidence for the manager to put him in that situation.
right,
He came through for him.
yeah, yeah. So recap of last night's great game that I've ever saw. Otani hit 2 home runs, 2 doubles, and he was walked intentionally 5 times. Wow, wow, wow. I know he's dangerous now. I think they went a little bit overboard, but just walking this guy whenever he can't get a play.
They'd have won the game if they'd have walked him 6 times before that last home run he hit. They might have won the game.
Right? Yeah.
He was punishing them.
Yeah. It's a good game. So since we talked about we talked about 2 weeks ago with Seattle being up 2 games. What's the score now? It's 2-1.
Yeah, it's
Who?
2-1
2-1.
LA, and the next two games in LA.
So who do you like in the series, Larry?
I was thinking only because the Dodgers seem to have better pitching. I was leaning their way, but and I still will slightly lean their way, but I wouldn't be surprised if Toronto pulled this out. Even last night's game, they seemed to have more chances. They just couldn't get that run across. They couldn't get a timely hit because they were in scoring position a lot of times. And I don't think that I would be surprised if we don't get at least 6 games here. Who do you like?
The Dodgers. I picked Toronto to go anyway. So I picked Toronto and the Dodgers to meet. And right now, the Dodgers are going to win it all. Yeah.
What's the difference between the two teams?
Like you said, they both can hit, so I'm trying to find the differences. And I disagree with you when you say Los Angeles pitching is better than theirs.
Oh, you think Toronto has comparable pitching?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So the Dodgers bullpen is shot.
Yeah, well, yeah. Then I was thinking more in terms of starting pitching, but you're right. And these days, people use their bullpen so much that fact certainly factors in. Even though the Dodgers let their pitchers, at least one of them, pitch the whole game the other day.
Yeah.
You realize that was the first complete game in a World Series in 28 years. That's amazing.
It is.
And you and I come from a time where we expected the starter to finish the game. You know, that was an expectation. Now they expect starters.
Go 9 innings. Get out there, man. All that money we paying you. They want to pick somebody out after 5 innings.
Here's the thing: if you're getting them out, why take them out of the game? But that seems to be the automatic thing after 6 innings. Take them out, even no matter how many outs. You know how many people the person's getting out. I don't get it.
I guess the game's changed. What can you do? They don't want to feel like they're wearing somebody out or something like that, I guess. I don't know.
And it's the use of analytics. They talk about it third time through the lineup. But if you really, I think you got to look at analytics are certainly important. I pay attention to numbers, but on a given day, if somebody's getting people out, I'm leaving them out there.
Yeah. Oh, well, we'll see. I'm picking the Dodgers to win it all. And, of course, Ohtani is one of the differences. It may not be the main difference. But, I mean, Ohtani's just something else. I mean, what can I say?
The other problem, I think Stringer got hurt, so I'm not sure. I think he's going to be out today. The leadoff hitter for Toronto, the one with he's got about 28 postseason home runs himself, but he got hurt last night, so he may be out.
What's his name?
Stringer, the leadoff hitter, the guy that used to play for Houston.
Oh, whatever. Okay. All right.
Springer. I'm saying Stringer. Springer is his name.
Okay, now I'm understanding. At first, I wasn't even understanding you. Who the fuck is Springer? Who the heck is Springer? But yeah, I know the guy that you're talking to. You mispronounced his name, and I should have just realized that's what you were doing. Not bad. No big deal. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's gonna miss tonight's game.
Yeah. So we'll see. I like the Dodgers, and you said you're not surprised if Toronto comes back, but that don't mean you like Toronto.
I picked the Dodgers because I think the Dodgers have an edge in pitching, but I wouldn't be surprised if Toronto last night will show you everything. I mean, these two teams are pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Larry. You're right. Okay. So much for that. Let's slide over to the NCAA football. I don't have too much to talk about. Alabama played South Carolina. They weren't much of a. They played a close game, but you know, and Ohio State did their thing, and I'm still talking about Indiana. They look good.
And Indiana's blowing people out too.
Yeah, we'll see though.
I think in a couple of
when
weeks
they play Ohio State, I'll be saying they are who we thought they were.
Well, I'll tell you the truth. Ohio State really doesn't have any really. They haven't beaten anybody really that great this year either. They started off the season playing Texas, who was preseason #1 or something like that. Texas has fallen off the map, and I'm kind of hard pressed to find somebody significant that Ohio State has beaten.
They ain't beat nobody.
Yeah. Now Indiana's beaten. They beat Oregon, which I think is a good team, and they're really like crushing everybody else that's in their way. Just like you would expect a good team to do.
Right. But just like I expect Indiana to fold against Ohio State. But anyway, we'll see.
I'm looking forward to when they play Penn State. I think that ought to be an interesting game.
Ohio State?
No, Indiana. Because Penn State is over the years is crushed them all the time. So.
Do they play Indiana this year?
Yeah, Penn State and Indiana play. Like maybe in a couple of weeks or something like that.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that should be pretty good. You know?
And maybe Indiana will go ahead and crush them too. Who knows? They've been putting numbers up against everybody.
That's true. I want to say bad stuff about them, but I want to be a reasonable person as well. I try not to let my emotions get in the way. They still got. We haven't gotten on to it. We're going to go over to the NFL. They're still Redskins. They're still Commander fans out here that think that they when Jade comes back and is healthy, that they have a chance. They don't have a chance because their defense is horrible. But we haven't gone to the NFL yet. We'll talk about that in a few seconds. All right. Well, I guess it's time to go over to the NFL.
Let's do it.
As I was saying earlier, Larry, I'm complaining about the quality of play by the teams in the NFL. I mean, there's no great team this year. To me, anyway. I was high on Detroit at first, but I'm looking at them.
What does it take to be a great team?
For all their teams, for all facets of the game to be played well, consistently.
So
that's a great team.
I look at a team like Indianapolis that has lost one game. Yep. Remember that game they lost? They lost it when one of the plays that led to it was that guy celebrated scoring a touchdown too early and fumbled the ball through the end zone.
Right.
They've won every other game. I mean, that's a pretty consistent 7-1 halfway through the season almost.
Right. So what
does it take for them to be a great team? They got the leading rusher in the league with I can't even think of the guy's name right now.
Consistency. Well, they playing that way now. We're playing that way now. We don't know how they're going to be playing 2 or 3 weeks from now. We don't know how they're going to be playing at the end of the season. We don't know what kind of injuries take place or anything. So
up until this point, they're pretty consistent, don't you think? 7-1.
That's true, but are you asking me up to this point, are they a great team? What are you asking me? You're asking me several things. I don't know which one you want me to answer.
Yeah. At this point, are they playing great? Are they consistent? Are they, I was asking you, what does it take to be a good team? At this
point, they are playing great, but that doesn't mean that they are a great team. I won't know that till the end of the season. They could fold. They could fold.
That would be the case for any team in the league then. That's why I was asking you, what does it take to be a great team? I would think that we would look at.
But I already said
where we are right now. Well, first you just said consistent, so
yeah, right.
They're consistent right now. And I'll tell you another team that
let me ask you this, Larry.
Go ahead.
Do you think that Indianapolis is a great team as of up to date.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's all I.
Yeah.
That's all I asked. Yeah.
And
Okay.
another team that it's another team that only lost one game. Now they got a tie that makes them look bad, but I got to give Green Bay credit. They've only lost one time this year. They got one loss and one tie. It was hard for me to
So
even
now
see that.
Green Bay is a great team as well.
They have the best record in the NFC, second best record in the league.
Well, I'm sorry. What I am asking you, Larry, is right now.
Based on what they've done, yes, right now.
Okay.
I didn't want to give them credit, and I guess that tie that they had with Dallas really put a bad taste in my
Well,
mouth.
that tie they have with Dallas is pretty much tell you all about them. But what can I say?
They've only got one
How you
loss.
gonna have a tie? How you gonna have a tie with Dallas and be considered a great team?
They've only got one loss. That's all I can say. When you win games, it's kind of hard for me to.
So what if they had one loss and 4 ties? Would they still be great?
I might look at them a little differently, but they only have one tie and one loss. Okay, and the rest of their games they won.
All right. Okay. So what do you think about
the best record in the NFC? That doesn't mean anything to you. They're ahead of Detroit. They're ahead of Philadelphia.
They're not better than Detroit or Philadelphia, so that don't mean nothing. They have a better record, but they're not better than Philadelphia or Detroit.
That I think that we don't know if those teams are better than them either. Which is at one time I would have said both of those teams are better than them. I can't say either one of those teams have played better than them this season. Detroit seems to be a strong team to me. But I guess these teams they've got to play each other at some point, so that'll solve all of that. Detroit and
you hear
hey,
that?
Lord, how are you?
You hear that, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, she knows.
I kind of feel that way too, but I mean, you're the sports doctor. You always talk about coming close doesn't matter. Whoever wins, you're the one I got this from.
Right, but
the bottom line.
You see what Lauren just came out and said, same thing I said. She's not sold on Green Bay.
Well, I was saying that I wasn't, but now I have to look at them differently.
Okay,
I wasn't sold on Indianapolis either, but teams keep winning.
I've known you for over 60 years, Larry, and I never have, and I never will try to tell you who you to be sold on. I'm not gonna try to. I'm just gonna tell you how I feel. I'm not gonna tell you what to think. If you think they good, to you, they good. That's it. I will never argue with you about who your picks are. I might make some little face in the background or something, but I ain't gonna come out and say that. Like the face I made.
This is an opinion show.
That's right. But some people get their opinion, and I'll spend the whole show dogging them, telling them they tripping and all that. I don't do that to you.
I appreciate that. I mean, I like a little back and forth anyway, but all I'm going by is data and results, And Lauren raises a good point. A lot depends on who they play. That tie with Dallas kind of sticks into my mind. And Dallas scored a lot of points on them that night too. They should have beat Dallas, and they let that get away from them.
Okay. So let me ask you this: who is the best team right now in the AFC?
I'm going to go with Indianapolis.
You think Indianapolis is better than Buffalo?
Yes.
That's what you say because you said that's who you go with. Okay. Yes. All right. I don't think it's in. I'm not gonna be outlandish. I'm not sure if Buffalo's the number one team in the AFC East. So
yeah, I was going to ask about that, and I think Kansas City is still good.
They coming up.
Yeah,
they'll be all right. They started out slow. They had injuries. Everybody's having injuries. It's like no team can stay healthy. Indianapolis
has been pretty lucky.
Okay. You know what? David may have been right on that. I don't know.
What's that?
He said the MVP is just a quarterback league. So they were talking about MVP candidates today, and everybody was saying, "Honey, Jonathan Taylor, it's it's a quarterback. One of these quarterbacks is better than him." I'm like, huh? Now, if you're gonna have to pick somebody right now, you would have to pick Taylor.
I think Taylor is a good candidate, but you remember last year Saquon had 2,000 yards. He didn't win it.
That's why I say I think
Yeah.
David might be right when he said it's the quarterback
Yeah.
award.
So Lauren has just pointed out a very important thing. Green Bay beat Detroit.
Man, what can I do? First game of the season, things happen, man.
First game of the season for everybody.
Things happen. Look, see what Lauren say. Just what Lauren say, I mean, is right. It's
She's
right.
right.
Because she agrees with me.
That's a pretty impressive win, though. Yeah, she thinks the schedule, how did she put it, has been manageable. But
Yeah.
Beating Detroit, that's, you can only play who's on your schedule. That's my argument. And they beat most of the teams on their schedule, including Detroit.
All right. I know the season's just halfway over, but I can't wait till the end. I can't wait till, because I'm going to tell y'all about your boy from Houston. I'm going to tell you about this Jordan Love boy.
Now, Jordan Love completed 20 straight passes on Sunday, too.
10 of them went down and out. So what, man?
Yeah, that hasn't been done much, regardless.
No, people ain't been calling down and out. That's all.
He threw a couple downfield, a couple of bombs downfield. His tight end made a couple of great plays for him. It sounds like you just don't like Justin Love, see?
I have never met the man personally.
I'm talking about not personally. I'm talking about as a performer.
No, I don't like him as a performer. He's overrated and he's all right. He's all right.
He can't have a good game. He did have a good game Sunday.
Okay.
20 straight completions. Give him props.
Remember, I'm the consistency man.
20 straight completions is consistency. Give him some props.
He ain't been throwing 20 straight for all 8 games.
No, nobody does that, but he was consistent Sunday.
Okay.
So who's your best team in the AFC?
Kansas City.
Kansas City, okay.
Yep.
Lauren has a question for you.
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question.
And she framed it as a positive. She could have said, "Who's the worst?" But she framed it as a positive. So now you'll have a positive statement about one of them.
I would rather. I don't like really neither one of them, Lauren. I can't really tell you. I can't tell you who's the better or the worse.
Pick one. You got to pick one. There are only 2 quarterbacks available. Which one are you going to take? That's a good question, really, though. Regardless how you might feel about it.
But if that's a good question, then y'all let me know what y'all think of. Stroud is a bum. Stroud ain't no bum. I just knew that everyone was overrating him, and that's the same with Love. That's all. They both are starting quarterbacks in the league, and neither one of them are great to me.
So Michael Call, she's not asking who's great. She's saying, who do you think is better?
I have so much disdain for both their talents, Lauren. I can't tell you. I can't tell you.
I've seldom seen people hold Mr. Earl speechless.
I don't know.
If I had to pick one, I would probably pick Love right now.
Going by what? Because of his team?
I think he's been more consistent this year than in the last 2 years than Stroud has been. Stroud was good his rookie year.
Okay. All right. I don't think I play either one of them if they were given to me.
If you didn't have any other options,
Yeah. Okay.
that's
right.
kind of how the question is phrased.
All right. So back to another team that everybody was all excited about, and I said, y'all moving too fast. The Chargers ain't all this hubbub, ain't all that either. San Diego, the Los Angeles Chargers are not that good a team. They're not.
It's hard to argue with that. I mean, they're what's their record? Let me see. They're 5-3. So haven't been that consistent, but they're okay. I mean, they're okay.
Right.
That AFC West, they got 2 teams 5-3 and one that's 6-2. So that conference has been.
Who's 5-3? Is Kansas City 5-3?
Kansas City's 5-3. The Chargers are 5-3, and the Broncos are 6-2.
Yeah, but yeah, that's right. Yeah, Kansas City is the best team in the AFC. Yeah, I didn't know they were over 500. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they won their last 3 games, so.
Yeah, they're the best team in the NFC, in the AFC. Yep.
No, I think it's a sound argument for that. They're playing very well.
Here's a question that's going to take you, because there's so many porous defenses out there. Who has the worst defense in the NFC? It's a 2-part question. Who has the worst defense in the NFC? And does Washington Commanders might fall in that group? Their defense is horrible.
Their defense is horrible. Dallas's is horrible. The Saints are horrible. Saints might be the worst defense.
Not the way I saw the Redskins giving up on yards the other day. Yeah. Commanders, rather. Yeah, I don't think the Commanders have the worst in the league, but they're up there.
And Lauren is pointing out another one, too. Panthers.
That's true. Yeah. And Atlanta. You can't name 5 great defensive teams in the NFL right now. 5. You can't. Great. Not pretty good. 5 great NFC. 5 great NFL defense. Both conferences included.
That's probably a challenge. I had to think about.
And everybody's talking about Green Bay. They're all right, but they're not great. The defense ain't great.
I think Cleveland has probably close to a great defense. Their offense puts them on the field so much, and they have to give up they have to be out there so much. They make people punt against them, which is what I noticed that Washington doesn't do. But Cleveland's offense turns the ball right back over, and they lose a lot of games mainly because they can't score. Their defense is great. Myles Garrett, he gets 5 sacks and they still lose.
Can we name 5 great NFL defensive teams?
Yeah,
5. There are 32 teams in the league.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking about Philadelphia's defense, and I don't know great, but I'll say these are good teams. Philadelphia, Cleveland, and of course when people are healthy, Detroit. Let me see in the AFC. I said Cleveland. I think the Broncos are okay. But the rules are such that it really favors the offense so much. But at least in some of those games, I watch Red Zone a lot. I see some teams having a punt. When I watch the Commanders, their opponents hardly ever punt against them. And I see a couple of games like that where nobody punts, which is strange to me.
All right, so you don't get emotional by your decisions or by your sport opinions. Are the Redskins are the Commanders going to the playoffs this year?
I doubt it.
Okay.
They overachieved last year. I think now I've been hearing a lot of people. I have a couple of people on social media criticizing the GM and coach, and I think they overachieved last year. And I just say go back before last year and see what they look like. I think they made a great improvement last year. A lot of things went their way, and their formula is they didn't have a defense last year, but their formula is keep doing enough on offense. And all the defense has to do is get a turnover, a couple of stops a game, and normally they could score enough to win the game. So in the offseason, they got Larry Tunsil, all-pro lineman. They drafted a right tackle, number one, one of their top draft picks. And I saw they were clearly trying to improve their offense and follow this formula. They knew they were going to be weak on defense. Their problem is all these guys on offense, Exler, McLaurin, Jaden Daniels, Debo, all these people have missed time. And their offense, they've had so many injuries on the offensive side of the ball, so that formula is not working. They're not productive offensively, and their defense is really getting exposed.
Okay.
And they just had too many injuries.
Because I know some Redskins fans right now, I had them on this show, they'll be saying, they're going to come back. They still in it. They still got a chance. This team is deader than a doorknob. If you saw the game Sunday, it's deader than a doorknob. It's dead.
I mean, statistically, they have a chance. I just don't think they have the I'll be surprised if they, and even if they make the playoffs. I mean, last year you got to really remember Detroit was banged up when they played them in that playoff game. I can't really see them. It's a number of teams in the NFC like Tampa, Philadelphia, Detroit. They all seem better than Washington.
Right.
If they have to play any of those teams, even if they were to make the playoffs, I would be surprised if they got out of the first round. They might, at best, they're going to squeak in as a wild card team, but they'll run into trouble after that.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully we'll have some better games next week. Hopefully. So, what are your thoughts on the Rams?
The Rams? The Rams are kind of they're a decent team. They're 5-2. I feel like about them like I feel about Green Bay. Not exactly sold on them, but they seem to, 5-2 is not a bad record. It's the same record as Tampa, so they're about, the same record as the Seahawks. No, I think Tampa might be 6-2, but the Rams, they're pretty decent.
Uh-huh.
It's one of those things Washington would have a problem with. I think they did have a problem with them, as a matter of fact, already.
Besides the Jets and who they lost, who they beat this week?
Bengals.
Besides that game, were there any good games, or was there any close games? Were there any games that you watched until the end of the game?
No, that was probably other than the Commanders game, because I live here in Washington and they had no other competition. That probably was the most exciting game Sunday, was the
wow
Jets game.
Okay. All right, well, let's get out of the NFL because there really wasn't much to talk about. Let's move on over to the NBA.
Okay.
And I was talking to Larry earlier this year in the preseason, and I was telling him about this dude for Philly.
Oh, VJ Edgecombe, the rookie.
That's all I was talking to Larry about. I said, Larry, they didn't put him in the game. He ain't on TV. Larry, where is it? The dude is awesome.
Well, I said that because they played him like one preseason game, and they shut him down. But he had a good opening night for sure.
Yeah. Philadelphia is 3-0.
They're playing the Wizards tonight, so they're about to take an L. All right. Just kidding.
Okay. All right. So Austin Reeves scored 50 points. What do you think of that? What is your thoughts on
I
that?
think he got 40 some last night too. He got 51 a couple of games ago, and the last game he got 40 something.
Oh, okay. So,
well, with James and Luka out, he's getting a green light and he's putting the ball in the hoop.
He scored 40 last night, man?
Something like that. I'll check it real quick.
I don't think he scored 40. I don't think he scored 50.
I'm sure he did.
50 and then 40. Come on,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, 51 2 games ago. See, last night they lost to the Trailblazers. Interesting team they lost to. Last night, Austin Reeves got 41 points.
Wow.
51 and 41.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, besides Philadelphia, who's the surprising team in the early part of the season to you?
Surprising. Well, maybe Indiana because they were 0-3. I expected them, even though Halliburton's out, I didn't expect them to start off that way. So that's
why? Who you thought was going to take up the slack?
I think they have a good team top to bottom.
Okay.
I just didn't expect them to be 0-3.
Okay. I'm not the biggest Halliburton fan, but they need him. If you don't have him, it's going to be ugly, as you can see. It's going to be ugly. What do you think about the Knicks this year?
If they stay healthy, they're in good position, especially considering Boston is missing Tatum. And the Knicks have a pretty decent team. The Knicks in Cleveland probably will battle out for the top spot in the East during the regular season. I don't know. I'm not sure about Philadelphia. I think Embiid has come back. I saw him play one game. He didn't look like his old self.
He ain't why they winning.
VJ and what's the other guard they got?
Maxey.
Yeah.
They winning because of those guards. Embiid.
He didn't look like his regular self, and George hasn't played yet. I don't think.
Don't need him. And Embiid never gonna be the same. They could use him, but they don't need him. They don't need somebody getting hurt every other night. They don't need that.
When he's healthy, has been one of the best players in the league.
Yeah,
now another guy that's in the NBA that I think that it's going to sound crazy when I say he doesn't get the credit. Might be on TV tonight, as a matter of fact. Is Giannis. Last year, Giannis shot over 60% from the field, an incredible field goal percentage, and was the number 2 scorer in the league. And no one talked about him as far as being MVP. And I guess maybe because his team didn't do that well. But I'm not sure how much more he could have done. All we heard about was SGA and the Joker.
That's all you were supposed to hear about. That's all you're supposed to hear about.
The Greek Freak was playing as well as anybody in the league. Shooting over 60% and the number 2 scorer to SGA. I think you got to think that he's up there. He's had bad luck because his number 2 person has been hurt the last 3 years, either with Damian Lillard or Middleton. And, he didn't have any assistance, firepower. If he had one of those guys had been able to show up and play, I think they would have done better. But bad luck for them. He did his part.
Lord. We playing the if game now. Lord have mercy.
No, I'll tell you exactly what he did. No, I said his team would have done better had they been. I think it's undoubtable because they did do better before Middleton started having his injuries. They was up there every year, but he's shooting a high percentage, and I mean, second leading scorer. I mean, I can't even ask much more of him. I think he's played as well as anybody else. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Okay.
You wouldn't like Jonas on your team?
We'd love to have him on our team, but he's not. Last year, the MVP was the MVP.
No, I think he should have been in a discussion. That's all I'm saying. Nobody even talked about him.
Well, who cares about being in the discussion? If you win, you win it or you don't. Nobody cares about that shit.
I think when you discuss it, when you only narrow it down to two people, something's wrong. Normally, I look at it, if you're one of the best players, you need to get some consideration. You got no probably very little consideration.
Well,
Say that again.
You could have gave LeBron some consideration.
I don't think LeBron was the second leading scorer, and I don't think he shot 60%.
He didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't. All right. Okay, well.
The problem, I'm kind of concerned about the NBA. It's like they're almost like football players. Lakers are missing Doncic and LeBron James.
What's wrong with Doncic? What's wrong with Doncic?
He got hurt the other night. He didn't play last night.
Hurt doing what?
Say that again.
Hurt doing what?
Probably in the game before. Anthony Edwards is out for a couple of weeks. Van Fleet's out for the season. Tatum's out for the season. Halliburton's out for the season. De'Aaron Fox hasn't played yet. It's a lot of people sitting on the bench. Jalen Williams for OKC hasn't played yet.
Well, they need to keep in shape. Keep their body in shape.
It's almost like this is football. They have so many people injured at the start of the year. Some of them will be back, but some of them, are out for the season.
Well, I've enjoyed the NBA game, the early games. I'm excited and I look forward to it. This NFL is a crappy year. It's a crappy year. It's not good at all. It's not good at all. Serious.
Well, I agree.
When I can't flat out tell you that Buffalo's not better than New England. Oh, well, the NFL's got problems.
Well,
they got problems.
Buffalo and New England are, pretty much heading, close together, one game apart or something like that, a half a game apart.
Yeah, but
Buffalo for so long had no competition in that conference. Now they got some competition. They always had a cakewalk the last few years. I think they got Kansas City next too.
Okay.
They might be further back.
So, what do you think about the Nuggets this year?
The Nuggets? I think they have a decent team. As long as they got Doncic and what's up? We got Aaron Gordon got like 45 points the first night.
You mean Jokic?
Yeah, Jokic. Doncic is for the Lakers. Jokic, the Joker. They're 2-1. They won their last couple of games. I expect them to be a good team. They're always going to be in the mix. That West is kind of tough. I mean, there's a lot of good teams out there. The Spurs are undefeated too, and Wemby's playing very well.
Who's the most exciting player in the NBA? The most exciting player right now.
Who do you have there? That's
Wemby. The
most exciting?
Yep. He came down and hit a Steph Curry 3 last night. Stop the pop. Yeah. He did some layup last night I ain't never seen nobody do before. He's the most exciting player. Yep. For sure.
David Burnett compares him to the impact he having or potentially will have to that of Will Chamberlain when he came in the league. And I thought that wasn't that bad a comparison because he really seems to be a giant amongst men.
Right, we ain't had that kind of impact that Wilt had. Wilt was a monster.
Yeah.
You know. Well, we're going to wrap this up here. All right. Thank you for.
Oh, let me ask you, any thoughts about Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier and the gambling probe?
No, because I don't know who's guilty and who's not. Until I find that, I'll say something. Until then, I can't say nothing.
I think it's interesting that the FBI, when they release the names, when I say interesting, I'm saying it, I'm curious as to why when they release the names, it would seem like if they were going to brag about something, they'd be bragging about the mobsters that they caught.
Right.
Because essentially, that's who's running it. And, getting a gangster versus a basketball player certainly seems to be a bigger feather in your cap. So I thought that was kind of peculiar why it was released in the manner it was, focusing on the athletes. I know they're the most recognizable names, but none of them are really super duper stars. Chauncey Billups is probably the closest one that had the biggest name. But I really wonder about the motive of not saying who the mobsters were. That really puzzles me. And it makes me question the legitimacy of the reporting by the FBI. I thought the newspapers would ask more questions too.
Yeah. Well,
this is my take on it.
Yeah. All right, Larry, we're going to wrap this up. Guys, thanks for everyone for tuning in today. And
Lauren, thanks especially to you, Lauren, for your comments. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Lauren, yeah. And I don't like her because she normally agrees with me. I just like her. So. And her sister.
They're probably your favorites, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. Equally the same. Equally my favorite. All right, we're going to wrap this up. Check out Larry Amos tomorrow on Real Fellas Talk Sports, along with David Burnett, Charles Snowden, and
Greg Fenner. We have a pre-recorded show. We recorded it yesterday, so nobody will really be able to make comments that we'll post tomorrow.
But I wasn't telling people to check out Greg Fenner. I was telling them to check out Charles and David.
Well, I would just mention him because he was also on
the show. Yeah. Anyway, all right, guys. I hope everybody has a very blessed and productive day.
Take care.
We'll see you real soon.